Over the years, gaming has evolved in many ways, not always in a good way. One of them is the disappearance of game genres we used to love. When I say genre, I mean, for example, horror games that were made by using pre-rendered backgrounds and fixed camera angles, or just fixed camera angles when the developer was brave enough to use real-time rendering for the backgrounds on a system like the original PlayStation. I don't mean horror games as a whole, I mean the gameplay itself. In this video, I'll tell you the 4 genres of games I miss the most. Before we start, another disclaimer. Sure, there is some representation in these genres in the indie scene, etc. I'm talking about games by big studios with big budgets, like we used to have, and we still should. I think a smaller scope with some of these genres could also keep the ballooning budgets in better control. And we, as gamers, would have variety in game genres once again. Beat 'em ups. One of my favorite video game genres is beat 'em ups. These side-scrolling games involve going from left to right and beating people up somewhat realistically unless the game is sci-fi or fantasy and some magic is involved. I have even seen hack and slash games called beat 'em ups, like original God of War games. Of course they aren't. I mean games like Capcom's Final Fight or Sega's Streets of Rage. When 3D graphics emerged, we mostly lost this genre altogether. One example is Fighting Force, which was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4 if core design got its way with Sega. Sure, actual Streets of Rage 4 came out a few years ago, and when you get over the weird art style, it's a fantastic game, and there have been some others recently, but these are smaller productions and 2D beat 'em ups. What I wanted to happen was the high production value 3D beat 'em ups with refined gameplay to the point it works and is fun to play, and having near AAA if not AAA quality cutscenes and stuff. Sadly, the beat 'em ups didn't never evolve to this. Instead, the genre just vanished. Fixed camera angles. I already mentioned this genre in my introduction. I didn't enjoy Resident Evil 4 when it first came out, because I loved the earlier games in the series so much. Of course, I thought it was a blast when I finally played it. Instead of an over-the-shoulder 3D shooter game, I wanted them to make another one with fixed camera angles, pre-rendered backgrounds, or not. The 6th generation of consoles would have enough juice to make a game of that genre with real-time rendering while looking fantastic. Even though I can play over-the-shoulder shooters without any problems, I still want to see fixed camera angles as a genre to return. Real-time strategy. Real-time strategy games, or RTS games, are one of those genres we haven't had at the so-called AAA level in years, over a decade in fact. I miss these games, especially the simpler ones, like the early Command & Conquer games. Something like Red Alert 2 had a sweet spot for simplicity and features. I even liked Red Alert 3 when it came out, especially the expansion Uprising, where you could play as Yuriko Omega. I loved her campaign. Red Alert 3 was a fun game, even though some aspects were too complicated, such as how you had to micromanage your unit's special abilities. Of course, the live-action segments with beautiful women were part of the package I sorely miss. So, it's been almost a decade and a half. Let's have a new Red Alert game or something completely new, but RTS needs to come back as a big budget production. You're still here and enjoying the video. I'd appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Arcade games. I chose arcade style games as the genre for this video because I love pick up and play games with good production values. I mean stuff like the arcade style racing games Sega and Namco used to make. Maybe even some beat 'em ups that don't have a big story built around them. You can play these games for 10 to 15 minutes here and there without a significant time commitment. Fighting games could still qualify for this category today, because they haven't changed much. Even though they have more involved modes these days, they usually still have the traditional arcade mode for quick play. Other than fighting games, we no longer have many of this experience created with cutting-edge technologies. However you want to put it, these 4 categories of games or genres are my most missed, not necessarily in that order. Do you miss any specific genre? If so, let us know in the comments, it's always interesting to hear the audience's responses. I have some other videos about games from the past, click the one on your screen to watch.